Hi, this is Majin, and here's some comic reviews for you. We have Axis, Spider-Man, Avengers, a bunch of World's End, Future's End shit. Anyways, let's just get on with it. Let's talk about Axis. Alright. Axis is one of these weird things where I'm going to say it could have been a lot bigger start. You know, because it was like this... What it seemed to me was everybody was all over the place. You know, you have the Avengers on one side, you have Uncanny Avengers somewhere else, you know, you still have the X-Men split, and, you know, people are like, you know, if you're not really on top of everything, you don't know what's going on. And this is Remender's mad dash to put everything back into a proper location so this way they can start the story. And that's why it's kind of like a mad shuffle, so to speak. Now, I think, like, so far at least the art was decent, especially with Kubert. There was a little bit of humor at the beginning, especially the dialogue between Thor and Falcon. Like, Falcon's like trying to tell Thor, hey, I need you to do something, and Thor's just like, you know, F you, Birdman, I'm not doing what you're telling me. And basically what's going on is the Red Skull is starting to manipulate people in their minds, and he's causing riots all over the place. Well, eventually they figure things out, and then they all meet where Magneto, Rogue, Scarlet Witch were at, and Havok were at. And they arrive shortly after Magneto kills the Red Skull by dropping a big old block on his head. And Onslaught Skull appears. Now, there's some really good pictures like this that pop up every now and then. There's actually a really good picture of Thor slicing Skull Apocalypse, or sorry, Skull Onslaught with his battle axe. And like I said, then everything else is just, we got to get everybody together. We got to get everybody on the same page. We got to get people to like each other, stop fighting amongst themselves, so this way they can continue on with the story. Kid Apocalypse supposedly dies, which, you know, who knows what that's going to lead to, if he's even really dead. And the ending was where the surprise was, but at the same time, when I saw it, I was just like, well, you kind of made it so this way he's unstoppable, for the most part. I did like how they tied in the Civil War also to this, so that part was good. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. But, you know, for me, this wasn't as strong as it should have been as a start. But we'll see how this plays out. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, this was okay. I mean, it's not one of Slott's best things, but basically what they're really trying to do is set up the team up between Ms. Marvel and Spider-Man. They're on a chase because the Count Minerva has stolen one of those people who got turned into the Inhumans. They're in that cocoon still, and they're on a chase type thing. But, you know, it was okay. It was okay, but it's not, like I said, I don't consider this is Slott's best work. For me, it just seems like, if anything, this is really hampering the storyline, because it has to deviate from everything that's been working towards. Other than that. Okay, now let's look at Avengers number 36. This is, you know, I just kind of want the story to move. And this thing just feels like you're just wading through molasses. You know, it's like somebody is trying to tell you this magnificent story, and they just can't get to the point. And, you know, because they're too focused on the small, minor details along the way. And that's what I feel this is about. You know, like, they know that there's something way out at the end of the universe that's causing some serious havoc, and they're going to send Thor, Hyperion, and some of these guys to go take care of business. And this is basically a suicide mission, which kind of makes me wonder, you know, what really is going to happen then with Thor, you know, the main comic, when since they have that replacement Thor. And since they really can't kill Thor permanently, what's that going to do with the movies and stuff like that? But is this a good book? It's a decent book. It's not going to win awards. It's average. Horrible read if you're just picking it up for the first time. But again, this is a story that's in molasses. Okay, now speaking of molasses, we have these three wonderful books here. What do you notice is the similarity here? Earth 2, Family Reunion, World's Finest, Secret History of World 2, World 2, Earth's End. Okay, let me explain something to you. Anybody who's seen the movie Groundhog Day starring Bill Murray knows exactly what I'm about to describe here. In case for the people who don't know, Groundhog's Day is a story where a guy wakes up, and every time he wakes up every day, he repeats the same story, same day. That's kind of like what I felt reading these three books. You're reading the same damn story. You know, now they do make some changes along the way, like, for an example, World's End. This is the book you really need. If you've never read Earth 2, this is what you need, because it tells you everything from start to finish. And not only does it tell you everything from start to finish that was in the Earth 2, 26 issues before this, it basically gives you some background information as well, give you some high-level overview of, hey, Wonder Woman died like this, Batman died like that kind of thing. Then you get this nonsense here, where it's like, basically, hey, everybody, Apocalypse is coming, and, we're going to show you the relationship again with some of these characters. And I'm like, okay. And then we go here, hey, everybody, this is the Secret History. And it's like, again, it's kind of like the same kind of feeling. It's just, I get how they're each telling a different story, but for me, it just seemed like it was like, you when you finish one book, you're getting ready for the story to start, and then you backtrack. And then you go forward again, and you go, okay, gotta get to the next book. And then it goes right back. And then it starts over again. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I got tired. I got really freaking tired reading this. This book here, you don't really need as much. This just tells you more of a background between, the Batman and Superman, the parents of these characters. This one, I can't quite say that this is what you really need if you're just jumping on board, but if you want to understand how some of these people interact better, this is one way to go. You learn that Supergirl or Power Girl she gets around pretty easily. That's one thing that I've noticed. This is the one you need because it tells you everything you need to know. I can tell you that the art was decent for the most part. I mean, the sad thing is this, even though I'm ragging on these books, it's not like the stories were horrible. Because if any of these stories were horrible, I'd be like, bad books of the week, hands down. But they all stood out. They all did their job that they're supposed to do. It was just, I wish they kind of spread this out a little bit more. So this way you didn't have three at the same time. Okay, Future's End. For me, the only part you really need is the Brainiac part. That was the only part, at least that interested me. The Tim Drake part at the end was kind of, who cares? Beverly Hills 90210 story. The funny part for me was it's kind of like, Black Adam shows up and then the Atom appears. And then that's when, they're like, hey, now it's time to attack Brainiac. And I gotta admit, the Brainiac character is a total badass character design. I give DC huge props for that. That was freaking awesome. What I can also tell you is, the art is just average. It's nothing like what I'd go, whew, this is freaking amazing. But if you're really wanting to get to the bottom of what's really starting to go on with these books, I know this is ending soon, so you might as well jump on board now if you want to know how all this junk ends. But is this a great book? It's still too early to tell. Things can go horribly wrong. And I just wish that DC didn't have so many weekly books, because now they have 3. If you just can't afford it, I would just don't even buy it. Because this is the could happen in the future. So you can always just wait to see what happens, and if anything important happens, just buy the trades. That's what I should be doing. But anyways, that is some reviews for you. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Like and share. I will have some more videos for you. I'm working on something now. Hopefully I'll do it tomorrow or Friday. And share, Facebook, Crunchyroll, anime reviews over there. And I'll have more stuff later. So until next time.